Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today be working on a white outdoor power equipment snowblower. It has an 8.5 horsepower Tecumseh with a 26-inch cut. And it's pretty close to the snow season around here, so people are starting to get their snowblowers ready to go and see if we have a lot of snow like we did last winter. So we'll just go through step by step, getting this thing all ready to go for the winter season. So okay, the first thing we're gonna check is make sure none of the shear pins are broke off. So we just grab each auger and make sure the pins ain't sheared. Make sure the propeller ain't froze up. And the next thing we want to do is check the skid plates. As you can see, like that one right there, it's wore out. It's already running through. And one thing good about these plates are reversible, so we can take them off and put it on the top. Some only have one side and some have skid plates on both sides. So we're just going to flip these around. And when I do this here, you got your scraper right here. You definitely don't want that rubbed on the ground because you can wear it down. Then you end up replacing this scraper bar. So I like using these wood shims. Put one on each side, make sure on a straight flat surface. And I like having it like about 1/8 of an inch off the ground, so you're not tearing up that scraper plate. So we'll probably slide these under to about 1/8 of an inch on each side. Let's go ahead and put them under there. Then you kind of look at it. Make sure you got like about 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch above the ground for the scraper. Take these skid plates off. See how that one's all wore out and stuff like that? One thing good about this here, you got the solar side you can use. I'll go ahead and tear that off real quick so someone don't get cut on that. Okay, I'll go ahead and put these back on. And there's channels, that's how you can adjust your skid plate and make sure it's flat on the ground on the bottom there. There, and if we took that piece of wood out of that wedge right there, it's going to stay right there. Now we'll go over to this side over here. This side don't look as bad, but we're still going to turn it around. Looks like someone tried welding a piece on there, which is fine. And we'll go ahead and put this on. Make sure it's sitting on the ground flat. And you got your wedge still in there. Wedge is out, and it's going to be set perfect on each side. About 1/8 of an inch on each side. You can run it up to 1/4 inch or so. And if you're have a gravel driveway, I recommend that at least 1/2 inch, or so you don't want rocks going through the propeller. So now we'll go on to the motor side of it. Okay, now we're going to drain the oil. And nowadays they have these little pipes coming off with the little cap on the end. Sometimes people make these so tight that this pipe actually turns. So what you do is you have a pair of vice grips, kind of like with the routed inside out. Put it on there so it's nice and tight, so you can go ahead and loosen that cap. So that was on there really tight without the whole pipe screwed out from the block. And that oil definitely needed changing. That's as black as all get out. And I like to use like a 2x4 or something under the front, under the skid plate, to raise the front end up just a little bit. So you make sure you get all that oil out of the block. See how the back of the motor is lower than the front? That way you'll definitely get all the oil out of there. And while we're doing that, we're going to start tearing that carburetor apart. Okay, on the Tecumsehs to take this cover off that hides the carburetor and stuff. There's a 5/16 here, and there's one back here by the dipstick, and 2 Phillips screws here. On your choke lever there, just pry it off. And I'll go ahead and take these. That thing's on there tight too. Go ahead and we'll take these 2 5/16. And now we can take them 2 Phillips ones off. And the whole plate is loose. Then this kill wire for the key thing, that just slides on right over here. Just slide that off. And now we got full access to the carburetor here. So let's go ahead and pop this primer line off. The fuel line's in the back. We have to get the carburetor loose before we can get to that one. I'm going to take that side off. Your throttle rod, there's like 3 holes in a triangle. I'm going to take this off here. Just kind of got to remember where you're going to put that. That one's like in the center one right here. That's where we got to remember to put that back in. Now we can turn this a little bit so we can get to the clamp for the fuel line. It's in a bad place. And being it's been on there for so long, we got to kind of pry that rubber line loose so we don't tear it or anything. Kind of break the seal loose on it a little bit. Take a pair of needle nose and kind of wedge it between the fuel line and the carburetor and just work it loose. And I see there's no shut off on the gas tank, so I'm gonna grab something here to let the old gas run into, and that gas really smells too. We'll let that drain out, then we'll get back to the carburetor. The gas is almost done draining. Then we'll take the air hose and blow inside the gas tank to make sure we get everything out of there and make sure there's no dirt or anything in there. The oil quit draining. I'm going to go ahead and put that cap back on it. And on these caps, just make them tight. You don't need to rinse them son of a guns on too terribly tight. Just get it on there till it's snug. About like that there. And on these Tecumsehs, you use a 1030 because you'll be using it in the cold months of the year. And I believe we're going to put like 3/4 of a quart in and check it. It's about like 3/4 of a quart. Well, the gas is pretty much done dripping. And like I said, we're going to take the air hose and take the gas cap off over here and blow it out really good. And when you do that, use like a towel or something to wrap around the top of the gas tank so no gas gets in your eyes or anything like that. And when I do this, a little bit of gas should shoot out of that hose there. now we know the gas tank's nice and clean. The hose is nice and clean. And there's a fly inside the gas tank. There's a fly in. And just by doing that, I don't know if I can show you this without tipping the gas over. But look how much dirt and stuff that was in there. Like I said, even a fly. So that's why it's good to clean out the tank and everything. So our next step would be is I'm going to spray off the carburetor with carburetor cleaner, and we'll go ahead and tear the carburetor apart next. Okay, now we'll take the bowl off. And the jet's built into this nut on the bottom of this bowl too, so the jet's right down in the center of that. But looks pretty clean. But we're just gonna go ahead and boil it out. Boil it out and put a new carburetor kit in there. That gas stinks really bad. And right inside here, there's a rubber seat for the needle. Best way to take them out is just get like a little screwdriver. Don't damage the side of the holes, but just stick it in there. Twist it around a few times and get your air gun and blow in here, and it'll shoot it right out. Then we got this little screw on the side here. We're gonna go ahead and take that out before we boil it out. And as you can see there's two holes on the side and one on the center. That's your idler jet. If that thing's plugged up, the thing will surge really bad. So we're just gonna go ahead and take that out. And we'll go ahead and put this in the ultrasonic cleaner for about 15-20 minutes, boil it out, then we'll put a brand new carburetor kit in there. Okay, we'll go ahead and put our bowl and our carburetor in here. Put over like about, well, I'd say 15. Okay, we got out of the ultrasonic carburetor cleaner. As you can see, it looks just like brand new again. And make sure you take it out, clean everything out, all the holes and everything. Now we're gonna start putting together. And on this here, it's like your idler jet. There's two holes right here, and one here. Just block one off and spray in here. It should shoot out a nice stream out the end. See that nice stream? So we know that's nice and clean. And these here, you screw them in until they're tight. There's no adjustment on these. It's preset. Okay, now our seat for our needle. It's nice and smooth on one side and rigid on the other side. This goes in there first, so the smooth side is up. Get in there kind of straight. And I like using the 3/16 drill bit with the back end. Make sure there ain't no burrs or nothing on it. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And we're just going to press it in there. And push it down in there. Make sure it's in there all the way. And it'll blow air in there to make sure there's no debris in there. I will make it leak. This is a light little shot of air. Okay. Grab our new bowl gasket. Get that on there. Grab our new needle. And grab our pin. Okay, now this indentation on our bowl, that goes on the back side here like this. And before we put our bolt slash jet back in there, just like before, there's 2 holes on the bottom. Cover one up. Shoots out nice spray, and there's like a little hole on the side right here. Make sure that's nice and clean too. Grab our washer gasket. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten her up. Now it's all ready to go back on the machine. Now we knew that the governor rod or throttle rod goes in that hole right there. So we'll go ahead and put that on there first. Now we can put the fuel line on there. Make it so you can get to the hose clamp easy. Push the fuel line on all the way. Now we'll try getting our clamp. There we go. Okay, now we can put the nuts back on here. The back one's kind of pain in the butt. Grab a magnet here, that'll be a lot easier. Get it started. Go and hold it. These are lock nuts, so we'll catch that metal on the carburetor so it won't turn. I'll give you a chance to tighten these down. There we go. Now we'll hook up the primer line. And to check that, works good. Get that put on there like that. Now we can put our cover back on. So we'll hook up this kill wire for the key right here. Go and set that in there like that. Get these lined up. And we'll just start these. We're not going to tighten these down until we get our top ones lined up. And we got the one in the back by the dipstick back here we got to put on. Get that one nice and tight. Now we can go ahead and tighten these two. And our choke knob. Okay, we're almost done. I still got to put oil in and stuff, but I'm gonna tip it on its front because I want to check the drive disc while we have it up here. Just make sure the drive disc ain't cracked up and stuff. Okay, let me take this bottom plate off here. This is where our drive disc is. As you can see, it looks in really good shape. It's not cracked up and stuff. And we can also check our belt. The belt looks really good too. So usually if you don't check that, you know it's probably going to be the next thing that goes bad. But everything looks good in here, so we can go ahead and put this cover back on. Get these two bottom ones started here a little bit. I'll go ahead and lower the table a little bit so I can get them top ones in. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put oil in this. We're going to put 3/4 a quart in, and we'll check it. For some of these 8.5s, they take 3/4 of a quart, and some take the full quart. So we'll just put 3/4 of a quart in here, and we'll check. And we'll screw it back out again. And this one's going to take a full quart. That's why you do that, double check it. Yeah, it's right on full. Okay, so all I gotta do now is put some fresh premium fuel in there. See if we can get this thing running and get it ready for winter. So we did all this work, so we better put a brand new Champion spark plug in there. You see our J19 LMs. Make sure your gap's right. About 33, 35 or whatever your motor specifies. Okay, now we can take it off the table and put some gas in there and make sure it runs. Okay, we got gas in it. Got my power cord here. So you put it on choke, prime it. Well, there you go. Runs like new again. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. If this will help you out, that's great. So anyways, you have a good afternoon. Thanks for watching.